team just doesn't give in easily. Another win for the San Antonio Spurs. This one by 15 points, albeit over the Indiana Pacers. Last place in the standings, but the Spurs did not play with their food tonight. A wire-to-wire win. 3 players with at least 20. Starting with the rookie, Dylan Harper, making his first career start. Maybe put this guy in the starting lineup more often. He ties his career high. Keldon Johnson with 24 off the bench, and Victor Wembanyama with his nightly dose of at least 20. Nate Ryan, the Lone Star legend. TJ Ford, another Spurs win, another night with multiple contributors.
Oh, they came out, put it to the Indiana Pacers right away, didn't play around, and was able to handle business. And it got everybody in the game involved, and kind of just set the tone from the first quarter, and it kind of carried the rest of the way for the rest of the 3 quarters.
33 team assists for San Antonio. Keldon Johnson, the spark plug, he's going to be making his first career playoff appearance. Talked Thursday night about how special the moment was, locking it up. He responded tonight in a big way. 24 points off the bench and extremely efficient, TJ. 10 of 12 from the floor, he couldn't miss.
Well, he took the approach of taking the leadership and being able to be really aggressive from the beginning of the start. And we talked about bring energy, and we talked about don't play around with the game. I think he understood the assignment. When you look at him being able to attack and get inside the paint and pretty much just knowing that the Pacers don't have a shot blocker down there, he was able to use his size and his force to be able to make 10 field goals and pretty much just dominate this game early on.
I think it's worth noting, too, we've brought this up before, but it was about 2.5 years ago that Greg Popovich made the decision to bring Keldon Johnson off the bench. Keldon had been one of the team's leading scorers in the starting lineup, but Coach Pop was the one who made the decision to move Keldon to the bench, and it's paid off in a big way. A career resurgence from KJ coming off the punt.
Yeah, as a high draft pick here for the Spurs, he went through a transition of a guy that took the role of being coachable, and it's been great for his NBA career. And when you look at him being able to take that adjustment and just do whatever it takes to continue to get better, he's proven that he's a heck of a pro. He's a guy that's established as one of the leaders on this team, and he's going to be a guy that they're going to depend on when it gets here to the playoffs.
And again, making these 6 Man of the Year voters think down the stretch about KJ's candidacy.
I mean, you should. When you look at the record, when you look at what he provides, when you look at his NBA career, you have to give him some type of reward for him being able to stay with it. And for a guy that's been very impactful here for the Spurs, we wouldn't have the record without him, and that's for sure.
Spurs staying within striking distance of the Oklahoma City Thunder for the top seed in the Western Conference. Keeping pace, 3.5 back. It's a pretty easy play call. Throw it up to the big fella. Fox to Wembanyama. Big night for those two. More Spurs post-game live after this. Happy Spurs fans leaving the crib tonight. 15-point dub over the Indiana Pacers. Another Spurs win, just sizzling over their last 25 ball games. Pacers in last place in the Eastern Conference. TJ did point out to me, you were 38 assists from the Indiana Pacers if you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, they play solid basketball. Obviously, they don't have most of their main guys, but to be able to have 38 assists on 44 field goals, that's very impressive. So that's a bright spot for them going into, their next game here with their coaching staff. For
all you Pacers fans, I guess, in the San Antonio area, former Pacer himself, TJ Ford. TJ's having a heck of a night. Longhorns off to the Sweet 16.
Yes, that's right. It started off, but, us going to the Sweet 16 still is great. But you got a guy like Wemby, and being here and being in his presence tonight, as we continue to be very impressive. You got him here tonight.
You take your eyes off this guy, right? I mean, you got the horns, and then you got 7'4" flying in transition.
I mean, look at that. He's driving down the court like he's TJ Ford in transition. The only thing I didn't do is throw it off the rim to get the rebound and put it back in. But, I mean, he's been brilliant. It's been fantastic. And I think coming to another game here, you're playing against the last place team, he was still able to be locked in and be focused. And that's what your leaders do. He didn't have to do too much, but he did enough to be able to make a big difference for us tonight.
How cool was that, too? And I talked about this during the game, but it's only going to get louder, right? He goes to the free throw line twice early in the fourth quarter. Bit of a lull during the game. Victor at the free throw line, and you just hear the MVP chants ring out throughout the Frostbank Center. Cool moment.
Well, great moment. I mean, March Madness, this is what it's about. It's about basketball around this time of the year, and you just think that what he's doing for this whole city, you can't ignore it. If you're not a basketball fan here in San Antonio, you're going to become one, and you're starting to see so many fans coming here to support from not just San Antonio, but from all over the country and all over the state of Texas. And now you're developing more Spurs fans around the world.
And I'm telling you, you're watching the playoffs come postseason time from coast to coast. You're going to be able to hear these MVP chants ringing through your TV speakers. That's going to be a cool moment. But this crowd loves their star loves the crowd. They also love their Dylan Harper. 24 points in his first career start tonight. D-Harp to the rim. What's that sign mean? Get off him! Spurs win.
Devin's late scratch a precautionary thing, or did he pull it? Or
it was precautionary. Yeah, it was tightness that obviously wasn't enough of a concern. Wasn't a strategic late scratch. So just want to be super mindful. Don't feel like it's anything long term.
Are y'all just given where you are in the season, and I guess the standings matter as well, but is this kind of the time of the year where you will lean more toward precautionary measures if you're just dealing with little tiny health issues?
I think that's logical. I think even more, we've had some guys that have played through stuff, and I think that in addition to we've had now some health and some chemistry and some growth in other areas. You know, Lindy Waters and Jordan McLaughlin played, 35 minutes tonight of really, really sharp basketball. And so that gives you even more confidence as a team organization, as a coach, that if it's anything close, those guys at their best, or anybody we feel like in that locker room at their best, is the option we want instead of trying to have somebody to play through. And yes, I think playing through things in game 70, whatever we're at, is different than game 20, wherever we're at. Not everybody's created the same in that regard, but I think that's a general philosophy for us.
How do you think Dylan held up with his first NBA start?
He's talented. I thought he did well. I think he can be sharper. I think he can continue to get in better shape, and those are nitpicking criticisms when you look at the production, but that's how good he can be. And so that's acknowledging his production and the talent and how good he is, and also knowing how much better he can be and we need him to be.
On a different team, people be probably talking about him as a starter. What does that say to the depth of your team, and also how he's kind of handled that, because he could have gone somewhere where he's starting right now?
I can't imagine for a 19, turning 20-year-old young man taking second in the draft, knowing a lot of the guys in that draft class of his, and just the different circumstances and scenarios that they're in, just in terms of volume of minutes and the basketball in their hands and opportunity to have production.
Nate and TJ here with you courtside at the Frost Bank Center. TJ, 11 games left on the regular season slate. It's tough to be playing better than the Spurs are right now, but Mitch Johnson just talked about wanting to improve. Is there anything that you see that this team can improve upon headed into the postseason?
Well, if you're trying to go into the postseason, you want to have aspirations to be a championship team. It's all about getting better. And I think when you look at championship teams and you're looking at NBA season, it's not a moment that your team cannot get better. So even though you got a good record, even though you're second in the West, it's still room for improvement, because you don't understand, it's different moments, different phases in the game that you still have to get better for. And you got to use these games to still prepare yourself as you're gearing up for the playoffs.
Next up, a trip to South Beach. The Spurs going to be taking on the Miami Heat on Monday night. Obviously, Bam Adebayo of the Heat coming off the second highest scoring output performance in NBA history a couple weeks ago. There's Bam right there. Monday, 5:30 is when Spurs pregame live starts out. DJ, you and I want to head out there for that one as well. We won't say no to it. Do a trip to South Beach. I'm always down for that.
Yeah, but I think we'll miss that trip.
We could probably find our own place to stay, I'm sure.
Well, I tell you what, we should have been to South Beach when he had 83 points, because it probably looked like me and you was on the court holding Bam doing that.
It was all basketball focused when you were on the road games in Miami, right? You were locked in. You were just in the hotel room listening to the music, right?
Miami is a place that is a trap because so much things to happen, but our guys been able to